the peptides space is a space that is getting a ton of attention online, especially if you spend any time looking into like the health and wellness, social media feeds, Joe Rogan, Andrew Huberman, all these guys, they're all talking about peptides. And so peptides come in lots of different forms, but most of them, not all, but most of them are basically amino acid chains, and they're being derived from existing amino acid chains that are already in the body.
We're back with the No Dishes podcast, once again brought to you by our friends at Visit Bloomington. Check them out at visitbloomington.com. It's a great resource, even if you're just a local looking for something to do. Also, all of our other advertisers on this episode, they help make this whole thing possible, so please show them some love. Anyways, play that theme song.
Hey, say, honey, let's go out to eat. Relieve our culinary duties. With all these restaurants to sweep us off our feet, they're bound to turn us into foodies. No dishes, no dishes, no dishes. We'll have a bottle of wine, relax and have a good time. No dishes, no dishes.
All right, the intro right before you saw this, you saw me, and I was a lot heavier. A lot. It's probably pretty noticeable. But I've been going to Gameday Men's Health on the east side, and they are now our title sponsor for season 9, which we're super grateful for. So I've been doing some stuff through them, also going to our other sponsor, Move Bloomington, which has been great. And we're here with the owner of the franchise, Dan McGurk. Dan, how we doing, buddy?
I'm doing awesome, man. It's easy to be doing awesome when you have all the cool things at my clinic that I do.
You're like, I'll tell you why I'm doing awesome.
Tell you why, yeah. It's I didn't know how awesome I could be doing, in fact. But yeah, no, it's going very well.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here. We appreciate your support. It's I've had such a great experience over the last 5 months coming in there and just seeing the progress that I've made. Yep. And it's been super easy, but we can dive into my experience and all that. But I want to just get into kind of your background and talk about your kind of history, and then we can get into what Gameday Men's Health does.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And so my background, very much a bit of a gypsy professionally, if I'm being honest. So I was in the military. I graduated IU, went into the military for a number of years, stationed in Germany, deployed. Then I got out, wanted to have a big family, went into corporate America, did the sales, finance, operations, logistics, you name it, for going on 15 years. It was great. Learned a lot of stuff. Kind of got burnt out on corporate America. My son, he had 5 homes in 4 states in his first 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
So just moving all over the place. But finally, that all, February of 24, my job got moved to Mexico, part of the corporate downsizing that seems to be happening to a lot of people in different industries. I was in automotive at the time.
Okay.
And so I was kind of looking around for what my next thing was. I had been a personal trainer, self-employed for a while. I had been doing kind of health N=1 experiments on myself with supplements and, different kind of diets and all different kinds of stuff for a long time. Lost a good amount of weight 10 years ago. And so I was very called as I was looking at businesses to the idea of, hey, Gameday Men's Health. It's like, I can talk about men's health all day long. So I got into that, and ultimately, as I was getting ready to launch, the biggest light bulb moment for me in January of this year, right as we were getting ready, I had my first testosterone. I'd never actually had my testosterone tested.
Really?
I was getting ready to open a TRT clinic. Yeah. And so I was a guy, I was going to the gym regularly. I had my diet dialed in. I felt pretty good. I had pretty good sleep, good energy. I went and got my testosterone tested and was floored. I'm 40. I just turned 41. I was 40 years old. 300 was my number. Shockingly low.
What's the perspective, though? What's it supposed to be?
Yeah, so if you look at insurance and mainstream medicine, they're going to tell you somewhere between 280 and about 780 is a normal range, right? So at 340, where I tested, was low normal. And so if you go in, they say, oh, you're low normal, but we can't treat you. So insurance wouldn't help you out with that. And there are things that I had been trying to deal with, and I had been taking all the supplements, I'd been doing all the workouts, all the stuff you do to raise your testosterone naturally, wasn't really working for me. And so again, as I was opening this clinic, and I had committed, I'm going to try one of everything in this clinic at some point, I started testosterone replacement therapy, HRT, hormone replacement therapy, and wow, it's like somebody literally turned a light bulb on for me in terms of my energy levels during the day. My focus was way better than it used to be. But again, energy, focus, gym recovery, libido, you name it. Stuff that I didn't even know was wrong with me was fixed.
Yeah.
I just felt great. And, that's the experience a lot of guys have. A lot of guys know they've got issues going on and they're showing up at our door, but there's a lot of guys that are just powering through their day and don't realize you could be feeling so much better. And hormones are, if you go through the list of things that are wrong with guys and you go way up the assembly line to like the end, what's the first order of business to fix? Hormones, which we're never taught about, are one of those key things that will fix downstream so many other things.
Yeah, it's fascinating just how much that affects. And so I haven't tried it yet. So I went in right when you guys opened. I think I was one of the first people you had.
Not yet.
Yeah, exactly. Not yet. I said it. And just, did the testosterone, the free blood test and found out I was low. But at the time, I got back from this trip to Charleston and all this and had kind of let myself go. Most people that listen to the podcast know I quit drinking almost 3 years ago now and lost a bunch of weight from that and just got my stuff together and but then kind of let myself go again, and I hit 300 pounds again at the beginning of 2025. And I'm like, all right, something's got to give, and every time I've gotten in a really good routine, my body's failed me. I had back surgery at 19 and I'm like, man, I really just need something to like kickstart this whole process.
Yeah.
And so I went in there, did that test, and then asked you guys about weight loss options as well. And, tried the tirzepatide and then just got done doing it for 5 months, over 50 pounds. I went from 297 to 245 this morning.
Yeah.
And the difference I feel, and again, if you just watch the intro to this episode, you see me doing the intro.
Oh yeah, you look great, man.
Thanks. Well, I feel so much better, and I didn't realize how lethargic I was until now. I look back and I'm like, how was I getting by with it through everything? It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's important. A lot of these weight loss drugs you can find them on the gray market. You can go in and sometimes you can get them through insurance. Come to a clinic like us where it's literally our specialty. One of our core 4 specialties is weight loss. People should. I encourage everybody, not everybody should try them. It's not for everybody, but if you're committed to weight loss, it's not just, the drug won't do the work for you. You
Yes.
still have to stay active. You still need to manage your diet. There's some basic rules to follow when you do these things. But as long as you do those things, they are very good. Exactly what you said, kickstarting it, priming the body for the changes that you're trying to make.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you mentioned that because, again, that's what I tell everyone, and I'm very open about it. I'm like, people are like, hey, you look great. I'm like, yeah, I've been doing the weight loss shot, but it doesn't do it all for you.
Yeah.
But it makes it easier. But like, I play basketball all the time. I go to Move Bloomington, who's another one of the sponsors that we're really grateful for, and we just did the sponsor spotlight for them. And I've just got an active lifestyle. I'm pretty active doing different things, but it makes it easier. I mean, I'm doing a food podcast. Everyone knows how much I like to eat. The whole reason this podcast started is because of how much I eat out, and working in restaurants. So it helped so much to where I could still kind of eat what I want, but I've gotten a lot more intentional about it.
Yeah.
And I've stayed full longer, and I've had less. I don't know how it is for everyone, and I can only speak to my own experience. And I don't know if we need to put a disclaimer on this episode. Like, we're not offering medical advice.
Right. Yeah. That's probably important.
Right. Yeah. But I'm just saying
my medical director is going to watch this and go, Dan. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
But for me, I didn't have the highs and lows throughout the day because, I think because the food's breaking down slower, that it's more sustained energy. At least that's my theory. I've never maybe
to
even
a certain
asked you about
extent,
it.
yeah. So there's a couple things happening when you're taking GLP-1s. It's certainly slowing down your digestive process. It's actually tirzepatide's got a second one, which is actually activating some of your fat metabolizing processes, which is why it's a little bit better, a little bit more efficacy than the original semaglutide, the OG of the weight loss drugs. In addition to that, when you don't eat as much, one of the things that's going on in your body, when you eat and you feel that feeling of hunger, especially in Western American society where we're all pretty well fed, what you're not really feeling hunger, you're feeling a hormone called ghrelin, which is going in and basically as you eat carbs at certain times a day, it primes your body to want carbs again and anticipate that the next day. And so what that's doing is that's saying, oh, you are expecting to eat this day, you need to eat right now. Whether or not you need it, whether or not your energy expenditure requires it, all of a sudden you want some carbs. And because of the way our food system's designed, the carbs you're eating probably are laced with fat and too many calories. And so it's really easy to overeat. What happens is as you slow down that digestive process and you start moving to 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day, because you really only need that much for a lot of people, after 2 or 3 days, your body, sometimes a little longer, your body resets that ghrelin process, and all of a sudden that hunger signal goes away at those meal times, and you're no longer hungry at breakfast anymore, and you don't need breakfast anymore, right? You may still need a coffee if your sleep's not on point.
Yeah.
But yeah, like your body is carrying enough energy, and again, if you're not highly active in the gym, if you're not putting in 10,000 steps a day, which we would recommend, 3 meals a day is, for most adults, is probably overkill unless you're really managing portion sizes.
Yeah, no, it was really interesting for me because everyone's body reacts differently to stuff. And so I didn't know. So I'm like, I'm going to try it. And I was just it was good because again, it didn't do it all for me, but it made it easier to just kind of keep going, knowing that I'm doing it, that I'm taking that step and that also kind of encouraged me to eat better. It's like, I didn't want to waste being on this medication for this time and then just go gorge myself too, but I didn't either have that desire. But what I liked when I came in is you guys, like, I had to ask you about it. You were like, and just be like, hey, do you guys do this? And you weren't like, oh yeah, do it. It was very cautious and, hey, we only suggest you do it for this long. And it wasn't oh yeah, just get it, give us money and get on it. It was like, I had to ask, and you guys were very transparent about, hey, here's things to be concerned about, or here's what it may or may not do. And I really appreciated that from my personal experience.
Yeah, no, and that's great feedback. We try, Brooke, our nurse practitioner, she's amazing. She is very intentional about patient-focused care and making sure, when guys want more than one thing, guys come in asking about peptides and TRT and weight loss stuff. We will generally not start somebody on more than one thing at a time because we want to make sure your body's responding the way it's supposed to on whatever that is. But yeah, that's for us, it's really about helping guys feel better. It's Gameday Men's Health. As long as we can help guys feel better, it's not about the money as our first point of contact. It is about how do we get more guys functioning at a high level in this community to build the community up. Yeah. That's really what it's about. And if we do that and we broadcast that mission, guys will understand and respond.
Well,
that's what it's about.
It's just such a great compliment to all the amazing gyms in town and all the other health and wellness people around that you got to hit it from multiple angles as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And so it helps. It helps being like, okay, I'm going to go to game day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go, hoop and play ball. Yeah. And it just feel, I don't know. It's crazy how much better I feel versus 5 months ago. And it really helps because I've yo-yoed my whole life. Dropped down to 265. I got as high as 320. And I would, back when I first started at Sweetgrass, I don't know if you ever went there. I don't think you ever, did you? The old Sweetgrass restaurant?
No, not Sweetgrass.
I was like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, when I first started there, I did like a Candida cleanse to get the excess yeast out of my stomach and went from like 205 to 175. And but it's always just been a battle because I've worked in restaurants and I love eating. And when I started the Chocolate Mousse, I tell people this all the time to show how good our ice cream is. But I gained 80 pounds in 2 years.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. It needs to be like when you go out to vineyards and they have all the wine samples, you drink it and you spit it out.
Yeah,
like maybe they have the ice cream policy, like that was delicious.
Yeah. Still doing the quality control. But
Right. But if you spit out the ice cream, this is not the right policy. It's probably not a good idea.
Yeah. No one's ever looked at the legs on some ice cream,
Yeah, that's right.
Well, before Chocolate Mousse at Sweetgrass, that's what I did was I was curate the wine list and the cocktails and went around to wine tastings. And I was 22.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not spitting this out. Come on.
That's right.
And maybe I had a little buzz when I was working dinner,
Yeah.
So you talked about your background and how you had your own personal, focus on health.
Yep.
How did this opportunity come about and how did you decide to be like, okay, let's open this thing? Because I know you have a partner in as well.
Yeah. My partner, Josh, who's currently active duty military, is Lieutenant Colonel U.S. Army. He was my partner, my roommate. Gosh, that's going to get me in the ass later. He's going to make so much fun of me for that. I deserve it too. No, we were roommates in college for a couple of years. We did the Army thing together, ROTC at IU, and we've been in contact forever. And so as I was looking at starting this franchise, I was talking to him because he's getting ready to retire. And so I was going through the whole franchise process, and he's got this kind of existential. He literally joined the National Guard at 17, and he's been in the military ever since, dedicated his life to it. And now he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do when I get out. And I was like, you know what? You need to join me and help me open Gameday Men's Health. And so he jumped on board with me. So he's my partner. He's out in Colorado Springs right now. He'll be actually in Bloomington here in September for a bit. So it's just been a labor of love for us as we get this thing open to, help guys like ourselves, help guys in the community to feel better.
Yeah, that's great. And so you opened this year.
Correct.
What,
Yeah.
Was it January,
February 19th was the first day we saw a patient. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not allowed to say his name on the air. But yeah, I know exactly who it is, and he's been great. You know, that's those kind of first early, what's the early adopters?
Yeah. Well, I think I was in there that first week or two. You're
pretty
open.
close.
It was in there. It was one of those, like, if you're one of the first 100 people, and I was like, I'll go check it out.
Yeah.
I need to do something, you know? So we talked about the benefits of the TRT, the testosterone, and all the ways that can affect you, and the weight loss stuff. One of the things we haven't touched on, you had the 4 principles. I know at least the third is like the peptides. Yep. What are peptides for those that don't know? Yeah.
So let me back up one step. So the core 4, TRT, like you said, weight loss, erectile dysfunction, sexual enhancement, and then vitamins and peptides. And the peptides space is a space that is getting a ton of attention online, especially if you spend any time looking into like the health and wellness, social media feeds, Joe Rogan, Andrew Huberman, all these guys, they're all talking about peptides. And so peptides come in lots of different forms, but most of them, not all, but most of them are basically amino acid chains, and they're being derived from existing amino acid chains that are already in the body. And so scientists have identified this amino acid chain signals this action in the body, and if we concentrate that and replicate it and put that back in you, you get more of a certain reaction. And peptides are actually very old. In fact, a lot of people don't realize insulin is a peptide and was the first peptide FDA approved and commonly prescribed almost 100 years ago.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
And so all your Ozempic, your tirzepatide, these are all peptides. So again, peptides come in many forms, but when you hear about peptides, what people are often thinking about in their heads, or they've been on these health and wellness feeds and stuff, they're thinking about sermorelin or BPC 157, HCG, PT 141. There's dozens and dozens that do all different kinds of things. And but you have to be careful you can't make a lot of promises with peptides, because a lot of them don't have like an FDA approval, or if they do have an FDA indication, it's not necessarily what people are conducting their own kind of personal research and kind of their own experiments on with these peptides. But within that sphere, like sermorelin, which was FDA approved up until I think it was 2006, 2007 for people who suffered from low growth hormone, you can now, again, under medical supervision, with kind of your own personal research, you can use that to increase your body's production of growth hormone, which has a cascade of benefits and will, especially when combined with testosterone, you can start feeling like you're in your 20s again, man. Peptides, again, whether it's, the growth hormone agonists, kind of the pain and inflammation and all these different kinds of things. There's a lot of stuff that's worth kind of checking out and doing some investigation on that could be very helpful. And within that, for the business, we also go into like vitamins and injectables, like injectable B12 or B vitamin mixes for guys that need that. And ladies, by the way.
Garrett and I were talking about it before you showed up, and I was going to ask. Yeah. So it's called Gameday Men's Health.
It is Gameday Men's Health. I'm not actually the franchise brand won't even let me advertise towards women. However, we do have female patients.
Okay.
Most game days, they would call maybe 10% of their client base is women. It's usually, not always, but usually like spouses of guys that are in the clinic, or like the FedEx delivery person or whoever it is who knows about the place and hears about it. Because when you see Gameday Men's Health, you don't think women's health.
Right.
But especially on the weight loss and some of the like vitamin injectables and stuff like this women are looking for that help, and we can certainly help with that too. And in fact, all the women that come to us are like, we love this place, and the reason it's because it's low stress. It's a very cool atmosphere, right? We're playing rock music in the lobby. We got sports on the TV. It's the man cave for men's health. But it's also just a cool place. It doesn't feel like a normal clinic, even though it's fully licensed. We've got all our staff is very well trained, tons of experience. But it's just a cool, relaxed, it's concierge medicine. You come in there, you don't spend 5 minutes with an intake and 5 minutes with a provider. You get half an hour to an hour of time dedicated to figuring out what we can do to help you feel better.
Yeah,
right?
No, it's great. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm going into a doctor's office like in the negative sense. But yeah, Garrett just pulled up the picture there, and you've got Brooke, and you have the the safety and the knowledge. You can just tell everyone knows what they're talking about, and like you said, has all this experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't feel like you're like, oh man, I got to go to the doctor, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm going to finish on the peptides and injectables. We actually are getting ready to launch an IV program too.
Oh, nice.
Which I'm very excited. School's coming back into town. I'm not going to say this was the number one party school in America at one point in time, but it was.
Yeah.
And so we will have, within a few weeks here, we're going to be, we'll have hangover IVs, sports recovery and performance IVs, and all this stuff. So all that, we're getting all that set up right now, and we'll start offering in clinic. And if things start to go well, we'll probably start opening on Friday, Saturday mornings, and just specifically for IV patients.
Nice.
And kind of start, if it goes well, we'll also look into mobile IV services.
There you go. Yeah, you gotta know your market.
Yeah.
Seems like you do.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming.
Well, yeah. So, what's these first 7 months of business been like for you? I mean, is it what you expected? Been different? I mean, I'm sure it's had to have been encouraging seeing people like myself or whoever just coming in and seeing that progress.
Yeah, the success stories are exactly why we got into this thing, man. Yourself is a great success story, but we have any number of guys that I could start listing off where, guys who haven't had sexual function in years that are regaining sexual function because there's more than just a little blue pill that can help you, fix your libido. Whether it's hormones, we've got non-invasive procedures. We'll talk about more about ED, but in fact, one of the testimonials, my favorite testimonial by far, and we'll see how PG we can make this testimonial. But this guy, he came into us, he got what's called the P shot, which is this procedure with platelet-rich plasma. So you draw blood, quite a bit of blood out of the body, you spin it down in a centrifuge.
What they did for Kobe Bryant's knee, right?
Exactly, yeah. And then they take the platelets from the blood, that gets driven into the plasma, and then you pull that plasma. It's adjacent to stem cell therapy. It's as close as you can get before stem cell therapy.
Yeah.
And there's a particular procedure that's designed for men's genitalia.
Huh.
Right. And I've had this procedure because, as I said, I'm going to do everything.
Yeah, you're going to try it out.
And it's very good when it's all said and done recovered. But one guy came in, he got this procedure. When he came in, the PG version of it, he's like, I had maybe 30% sensitivity and function. I was, he's in his late 50s. He's not had a good intimate experience with his wife in a long time. And he's like, and he came in for a follow-up a couple weeks later, and we're talking to him, and he's this real downcast face, and he's like, and we're expecting bad news, like something didn't work. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm not sure the right way to say this, but he's like, I can't even put my pants on now without getting yeah. It's like, that's amazing.
Yeah, my wife,
it's like,
can't stay away from me.
Yeah. And so we've got all these, we've got guys within the Gameday network that, one guy who hadn't had intimate relations with his wife in 17 years. He went through the Gainswave procedure and the P-shot procedure, which is a series of procedures. And for the first time in 17 years was able to be intimate, in his 70s, intimate with his wife.
Wow.
And so there are options out there that people don't know about for these things. Guys don't know it's such a big problem. So as you get older, ED is affecting, for guys over 40, more than 50% of guys suffer from symptoms of ED.
Really?
And they think, it's just me. And it's
right.
It's not just you.
Well, and it's not something that most guys want to talk about.
It's not.
That's your manlyhood. Like, why would you want to be like,
Yeah. And
I'm 35. I'm good, but I'm just playing.
No. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. And
Gary liked that one.
Generally, it's not a problem for 35-year-olds. Generally.
Yeah.
But some it is.
Yeah, you never know.
And Gameday Men's Health is a place where guys can go, I've got my nurse and my MA, they're very blue collar. You can say anything to them. They've heard it all. You wouldn't believe some of the stories we've heard from guys.
Yeah.
And there's no shame, right? So you come in and get checked out for that.
What's
stuff.
what you guys do?
It's very important.
Yeah, and it's not even like bringing it up to someone that just does general practice. It's like that's what you guys do, and that's what you're there to help and talk about.
That's exactly right. And a lot of people that will go to, and I don't mean to denounce urologists and mainstream medicine because they have a very good function for primary care for people. But when you get into the specialist stuff with hormones, especially for guys, hormones that we specialize in with ED. There are options, and insurance companies don't like to pay for these options. We don't take insurance because of the limitations that insurance places on mainstream medicine. But there are options to help you feel better, and they cost less than your health insurance.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I've done out of pocket, but I didn't even know you guys didn't even take insurance. Yeah. I had no idea because I was just like, regardless, like I'm paying. So
yeah.
But yeah, it hasn't been too bad at all. You know, I found it. I think it was worth every penny that I spent.
Yeah,
and
good.
just you know, waking up, just every time I look in the mirror, just feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, and just again the energy when you have the schedule that I have to take on
Always
these things.
going.
Yeah, like it helps. It helps a lot. You know.
Yeah, no, for me too. I come in, you know, every day. I've also got 4 kids and a wife who's a full-time real estate agent. Life is very busy.
Oh, I can only imagine, man.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited you guys have been open. I've had a great experience. Is there anything that you guys have offer that we haven't touched on yet?
Let's see. So yeah, actually there's one particular thing which I'm getting ready to put an ad campaign about is musculoskeletal therapy.
Okay.
So shockwave therapy. One of the ED procedures that we do is called Gainswave, which is radial shockwave therapy for ED treatment. But that machine actually is, even before that, was indicated for treating things like tendonitis. So I had golfer's elbow in my elbow when I started at Gameday. 3 treatments later, I didn't have it.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
My medical director, he had tennis elbow on his right arm. He came in 5 weeks in a row, was treating himself on Fridays. It's gone.
Interesting.
Right? And so what that, you know, this radial shockwave therapy, one of the things that it's doing a couple things, but it goes in and it will start breaking up scar tissue and driving flexibility into those tendons. It's driving angiogenesis, which is creating new blood vessels in that area, which drives more blood flow, drives more not growth factor, healing factors into that area. And so this, in terms of if you've got like all these guys that play in pickleball, all these guys in CrossFit gyms that they just have the itis, right? Plantar fasciitis, tendonitis, you know, you got this frozen shoulder that you can't unlock. This, you know, you usually find a machine like this in a high-end orthopedic office up in Indy. You'll find these high-end orthopedic offices that will do radial shockwave therapy or even deeper shockwave therapy. And we have that in town.
Wow.
And you can come in and this stuff that you're stuck with, that you're like, I'm stuck with the itis, my tendonitis for the next 5 years. No, you're not necessarily stuck with that. We've got things that can help you with that. So that's probably the last thing it's not part of our core 4, but it's something that we do.
Well, that's huge to know. I mean, hopefully you just play this episode in your lobby all the time, because I've been in there a bunch and you guys do a great job of advertising. But so I was like, I don't know what that is or this, and it has the general overall idea. But just sitting here talking to you, I've learned so much more already about like the ins and outs of what you guys are doing, how it works. And just even the tendonitis thing or like plantar fasciitis. Like I know as you were talking, I was thinking of, I need to tell this person. Oh yeah. Because they are all like kind of resigned to the fact of, this is just reality. And this is just what I just have this, and it flares up sometimes and it doesn't. And this, I just have to live with it.
No,
I don't think a lot of people know that there's options.
There are options to treat and heal that stuff. Yeah. And again, it's done even better in conjunction with physical therapy and other things that you should be doing with an active lifestyle. But it can help, kind of like with the weight loss medication where it kind of kickstarts that action that you're looking for. This can drive new action and new growth, new healing into an area.
Yeah, no, it's, man, I just can't tell you enough how much easier it's been to be. I play full court basketball, lumbering up and down the court at 300 pounds. I just played on Sunday.
You block people out pretty well.
Oh,
maybe,
dude, I go down. I go down on the block. Yeah, it's hilarious because I have dudes just like full leaning all into me. That I'm just like, what are you doing? Yeah, but that's all I had. You know, they could just run and I couldn't catch up to them. But no, just played Sunday, man. I just feel like a whole new person, and just like just driving and people are like, oh, nice, man. Like it feels good. And it's I've just been so happy with the whole experience with you guys and just how everything has worked out. And I think it's just cool that you have this service, and I'm glad that you see the value in what we do at No Dishes and what we're doing and promoting all these local restaurants. And you guys want to be, even though you're a chain, you want to help us promote these local restaurants. For sure. It's such a good local food scene here. Yeah. And man, there's all sorts of good stuff to get out and check out. Well, let's dive into it. Yeah, man. I'll tell you. I don't get real fancy, and I don't get out as much as I'd like to. Well, you already said wife, 4 kids. Yeah, really busy. I get it. We understand. It's okay, but no, I'll tell you. So I came prepared with a couple of things. One, my go-to pizza is Greek's. I love Greek's pizza. Now, don't get me wrong. If I need a quick, easy pizza, there's lots of the kind of fast pizza options. But if I want high-end, good pizza, Greek's. It's the what do you call it? The ham, that's the cordon bleu a la Raphael. Ooh, like okay, dude, I love cordon bleu. Is one of the most underrated sandwiches, flavor. Like I love the Swiss, the ham, the chicken, the honey mustard.
man.
I'm on that cordon bleu life.
It's good, man.
Yeah,
It is
pinkies
really
out,
good.
I feel a little French.
Yeah, that's it. If you only can say blue right, then that's enough,
blue.
right?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Greeks because they actually donated a signed Eric Gordon jersey to us way
cool.
back when the podcast was on like season 2.
Yeah.
We did a silent auction to raise money for the
cool.
podcast.
Yep.
And they donated one, which was really cool of them. And I don't think they've gotten shouted out on the podcast before.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that you mentioned that.
You know, and actually, we have a funny story about Eric Gordon's Greeks. My buddies and I, we usually get together for a basketball game every December when all the students are gone and it's a little bit quieter in town. But we got right before Christmas break a few years ago, we 4 of us met up. We went to basketball game. They did at halftime. They do, hey, you know, if we win you free breadsticks for a win, all this stuff. We had been right before the game. We had eaten pizza, and there's only one guy, and it was like a Friday night. One guy running the whole place, and we were like praising him, like, dude, you're doing a Herculean job of running this place.
Yeah,
like we literally wrote a letter to the corporate officer, like found like, give this guy a raise. He's a solo show. Answering the phones, all the pizza and stuff.
Rocking it out.
We went to the basketball game, like free breadsticks if this happens, and the thing happened. And we're like, that poor guy's gonna get murdered after this game.
Oh, I love it. As soon as that 20th free throw hits, you're like, oh, poor John, man.
Yeah, he got roasted that night. I felt so bad for him.
Oh, well, that's cool, man. I love, so those that don't know, I know Garrett pulled it up for a little bit, but they're over there by the stadium on Dunn, just north of 17th.
Oh, yeah. There's that pizza.
Well, it just reminded me, I need to go back
good.
in there. I haven't popped in a bit, but when they first opened, went in a few times. And obviously, I love all of the places we have here in town, but theirs is a little different. So it's like, again, we've talked about it on this podcast a ton. Like Pizza X scratches a certain itch.
Yeah.
Mother Bear scratches a certain itch. Eric Gordon's Greeks, it's a different itch.
It is. For me, it's like it's a high-end, quality ingredients. It's really, really good pizza every time I go in. And it's the go-to place when my friends and I are meeting up for a game up there because it's right there by the stadium. My wife and I love Uptown Cafe.
Okay, yeah.
I know that's like everybody loves Uptown Cafe. Well, yeah, it's good.
Everyone says Uptown for a reason.
Yeah,
dude. Fox 59 was down yesterday morning. We were promoting Taste, and I was in there talking to Michael and Galen and his son, who's running the show. And they brought out the coffee cake, made this muffaletta, did a creme brulee, just because we're showcasing it for Fox 59. And we got done, and I was like, "Hey, Galen, what are you doing with that muffaletta, buddy? You know, it's like, you want to give me a to-go box?"
Yeah.
And but Sherman, and this guy's traveled. He's been doing it for 17 years for Fox 59. This Where's Sherman, traveling all over the state, trying different stuff, and he was just blown away by Michael's home fries, the chorizo they had, like in this little omelet they made, and just like couldn't stop going back and eating it. And I was just like, man, like people from Indy, they're like, oh yeah, like Indy's got best food, we're the biggest city, yada yada, and just Bloomington, man, we just get slept on, and that's what we're here. We're here to showcase.
4th Street with all the different kinds of ethnic restaurants, all the different kind of around the world. You can do around the world and all those different places. It's great options.
Did you know Little Tibet's the only Tibetan restaurant in the state?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I was like, that's
it's a cool place. I haven't been there in years.
So I've been there.
Remember.
The owner's been on. He has he's probably the most incredible interview I've ever done. He's got such an incredible story, and I love going in there. I just never knew it was the only one.
I bet. Yeah. One of the owners of one of the Korean restaurants came in to game day one time. Another place I'll give a shout out to, which I don't know if it would come up because it's a breakfast restaurant, but Runcible Spoon.
Oh yeah, the Spoon
has a soft spot in my heart from back in my college days. Yeah, checking that place out.
What do you like getting at
the eggs Benedict?
Yeah. Do you ever do the smoked salmon one?
Yeah, I have.
I like the smoked salmon one, and then of course just the pancakes.
It is, yeah. I mean, but it's like the location's so cool, and it's just a cool vibe. It's such a homey vibe. And,
it's just unique, and it's just like it's not some cookie cutter chain.
Yeah, it's a really neat place. And then my go-to coffee in town, and I actually don't drink coffee, but my go-to coffee place because I like hot tea and I like the food options is Crumble. Coffee and bakery. I go to the one south of the mall primarily. In fact, when I was opening Game Day, we conducted all our interviews in that Crumble. I'm sure they were tired of me after a while. Like 20 interviews, 25 interviews we did in there. But they do great quiche. They do great little side items.
Yeah, I've only been into the Renwick one like twice. I always hit the one at 10th and College because it's on my way to work. Yeah, and I popped in there yesterday morning, and they always have great baked goods. And
Yeah, that's a great little spot to get something quick for breakfast.
Yeah,
And
that reminded me. I need to follow up with them. If you know the owners of Crumble, I've emailed them and they said
Yeah.
they were interested, and I haven't heard back yet. So
we want to
get them on here.
Get in here.
Yeah.
I think there's 3 of them in town. Yeah, it's good.
But I know they're busy. I know what it's like running a business. You get it. And,
Yeah.
I've had a few people that we've been wanting to get on for a while have expressed interest that are finally coming in season 9.
Yeah,
so I'm
good.
really excited.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to just throw out there that we haven't been able to touch on?
There's one more plug. If people make it this far in the podcast, first of all, I appreciate it
Yeah.
because this is men's health, but it's a cool topic.
Yeah,
and,
I think it's been good.
But we do one thing the first Friday of every month, and coincidentally after this podcast, August 1st is this Friday. It's the only Friday of every month that we're open. We do First Responder Friday, and so any first responder can come in. That's EMTs, police, fire, jail. Heck, I'll extend it to teachers, veterans.
Oh, nice.
We public servants. We just want you guys to come in. We'll do free vitamin injections, B12, B vitamin mix. Just come in, get your vitamin check. Honestly, I want you to check the place out. Don't get me wrong.
Of course,
but it's a complimentary vitamin injection. There's no obligation. You just come in, meet the staff, and get a little healthier. All right. And so we like to do that. Quite honestly, in the first few months, we haven't had a lot of action on that promotion, right? Going out and talking to people.
I had no idea about it.
Yeah. And so, we've kind of done some sponsored promos, this kind of stuff, but I'd love to see more people come in because I'd love to be able to help the community. Gameday just signed a big agreement with the International Association of Firefighters. So if you guys are watching this, I'm coming to talk to you guys a little bit. And I've already talked to some, but we really have a heart for first responders, and the typical Gameday patient is not what you think. It's not the like gym bro who's trying to Hulk out. Like the vast majority of patients are just your blue collar 9-to-5 guys who just want more energy to play with their kids at the end of the day,
or
more
scoop
energy
ice
to be
cream.
with their wife or scoop ice cream. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And so, we try to get the message out with a promotion like this, A, to give back to the community, but B, to let them know, hey, this is for you too. Right?
Yeah, it's a great thing that works two different ways. So this won't come out till next Tuesday.
Yeah, that's okay.
I know, but
Next
starting in
month.
September.
Yeah, September.
The first Friday in September, go in there.
do
The
it.
fact that you extend that to teachers is awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's anyone that
And we do discounts for that whole class of people. We'll do huge discounts on hormone therapy. We'll do huge discounts on everything just to try and get them because we want to take care of our public servants, right?
Yeah, they're taking care of the rest of the community.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense. Man.
Yep.
Dude, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. We appreciate you believing in No Dishes and what we're doing here.
Yeah, man.
And just getting to share the stories of all of the people behind Bloomington's culinary favorites,
Yeah.
And then I've really appreciated the opportunity to share my story. And I've always, again, anyone that talks to me about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this. I go here. And
Yeah. You've been you've done amazing. It's awesome to see, Jordan, the results that you're getting.
Yeah, it's even Connor worked the front desk. Like it's those last few times I came in, he's like, damn, dude, like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Cool. Well, thanks so much, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on, Jordan.
Of course. What another fun episode, huh, gang? Thanks to Visit Bloomington, as always, for being our presenting sponsors. Thanks to Everywhere Science for this cool sign. Nate and team hooked it up. And thanks to you for watching so we can keep doing this. See you next Tuesday morning with another new episode of the No Dishes Podcast. This episode of the No Dishes Podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Garrett Portinga of Green Hat Media in beautiful downtown Bloomington, Indiana.
No Dishes Media.
No Dishes Media.